Hey there, my friend. I wanted to welcome you to the Daily Shortcut. My name's Dave Wood, your host, and in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to reframe your idea of how your mind works and what moves you towards success or failure in your life. Maybe this is going to happen as you read the words on this page, or maybe it'll happen for you when you wake up tomorrow morning. But however it happens, this information is going to transform you today. Perhaps you'll even have a vivid dream affirming everything you experience in this episode of the Daily Shortcut this very night. Tonight, as you're asleep and are off in the land of the unknown, and your dreams are creating new worlds in the future. Whatever happens now, you're going to discover the amazing power of your internal guidance system and how it controls the outcomes of your life in today's episode. If you're one of those people who have struggled for a long time without really understanding why, this video is for you. See, the more successful people I meet, the more I believe that success is just an automatic, unconscious way of doing things and taking action differently, like a behavioral pattern happening in the background when you're not even thinking about it, outside of your conscious awareness. A way of functioning as it seems to happen when you're not even aware of it in the background, whether that mechanism is actually producing what you want to produce or the opposite, as it works exactly as it should in either case, creating the worlds that you're imagining inside of your unconscious mind. Here's where this is going to get interesting. See, 80% of the actions that you take in your daily life or more, I actually think it's more like 98%, they're unconscious, they're automatic. And you can't even be aware of all of them, even if you wanted to be aware of them and were trying to pay attention. In other words, you do most things that you do without even thinking about them, and you couldn't be aware of them if you tried to be aware of them. There's simply too much data, there's too much information you're processing, too many thoughts you're thinking, and too many little things to pay attention to, and it's all happening. If you're trying to carefully process your environment with logical thought, you wouldn't even be able to do it. Now, your unconscious mind is either going to work its way towards success or it's going to work its way towards failure. The outcome is going to vary depending on how you've programmed your unconscious mind and the information that you're actually taking in through your five senses every day, through the books that you're reading, the audios that you're listening to, and also the people that you're connected with socially as you're embarking on your quest to get riches on the internet. Now, this goes down to every little detail in your life that you're conscious of or not. How you talk, how you walk, and even how you spread your butter in the morning as your mind is wandering with pre-programmed patterns just outside of your conscious awareness systems. I want to start today's episode by talking about instincts and instinctual responses. I believe that success is a human instinctual pattern of behavior of pre-directed responses to external stimuluses that are directed by your conscious mind. However, the patterns are actually happening on a deep root level before you're even aware that they're happening at all, which is why you have to change unconsciously at the root if you want to truly change your life and live a better and also a more powerful future. We can instinctively succeed in everything that we do, making the right choices unconsciously by focusing on the right things that we have in control, unless we have little bugs in our programmed belief systems, our programmed values, and also our programmed systems of thinking that we need to change now. Everyone that I've ever met and everyone in the world has an internal guidance system, an internal system that unconsciously and automatically moves us towards our goals or not. Like if you could imagine a success instinct or a program that calculates all the possible simultaneous futures and makes just the right ones happen for you as you're focusing your mind and energy in the right direction now to create what you actually want to create in your life. See, most people, they'll laugh or they'll respond in jest if you tell them that success has anything to do with unconscious behavior and automatic responses, and as they're responding with unconscious ridicule and laughing nervously, they're actually wondering if they're actually programming their mind correctly by listening to the right messages or not, because everybody instinctively knows we do have automatic programs that are playing in the background. It does happen. There's actually been extensive researches on the conscious mind versus the unconscious processing capacity that human beings have, and this research suggests, with alarming amounts of data, that the conscious mind can actually only process something like 7 plus or minus 2 chunks of coded sensory information and thinking simultaneously. As you're thinking, you're actually adding chunks and you're deleting chunks to that bit, even if you're thinking of lots of things at once, as you're replacing the information and moving through new systems of information as you're thinking in your daily life. Well, your unconscious processes actually move through about 2 million chunks simultaneously with intricate, interwoven detail, and you would never even know this is going on unless you've experienced things in your life, like walking along in creative manifestation, abundant manifesting things. Like, they talk about in the movie The Secret. This is the manifestation power that you're given as a human being. You have the power to actually change your environment by changing your belief systems inside. See, your unconscious mind actually decides what's important and what you're paying attention to. It decides what we should bring into our conscious attention based on our values, based on our belief systems. And it actually has to filter and sort the 2 million chunks of information or so, and it decides automatically which 5 to 7 plus or minus 2 chunks of information it's going to bring to your conscious awareness based on what you're imagining with your internal quantum computational system that's built into your human nervous system. In other words, my friend, you are a creation machine, and you're built from the wealth and the abundance of the universe. Whether you want to be creating in this moment or not, and if you focus your mind with me in the right way, it always creates your imagined and your desired outcomes in the way that you want. If you decide to take dominion over your mind and focus it by absorbing each new episode of the Daily Shortcut now. So what's brought to your conscious mind's awareness is actually controlled by your programming. Our built-in guidance system simply moves us towards the 5 sensory holographic imaginations inside that's comprised of all sorts of thinking that we're giving and creating in a given moment, with or without conscious awareness involved. That's why if we're constantly thinking about the limitations and the frustrations in our life, we continue to encounter exactly what we're imagining every time in increased capacity and frequency until we decide to change that thing. The very nature of our internal representations inside of our hearts and minds, we need to feed those with beautiful things, with ideas, with artwork, with new representations that create holographic images of a new, better, and a more powerful future. And then you'll create what you want. Now, we also have a self-image, or an identity as human beings, and this sets boundaries automatically and creates reality constructs that continue to manifest in the right time and way for us on autopilot, whether aware of them or not. Your identity, your self-image, it's like a filter for the constant abundant stream of information and also chaos flowing towards you from the center of time, from the universe, from your experience in your life, from your external environment. This controls what information is actually brought to your conscious awareness and how you experience that information. In other words, the map of reality, which is the images and constructs you're holding on to, is not the same as the nature of reality yourself. You're bending your perception of time, space, matter, and energy to match your internal representations inside, and you're experiencing now a distortion in how the universe actually is. No matter how true or untrue your representation happens to be, you're experiencing a filtered construct based on your own belief systems. See, so if you have a self-image that's made of emotional and holographic constructs that don't have the success that you want, the happiness you desire, the power that you want to have, perhaps you're not going to allow yourself to step into the future of wild abundance, sex, fame, spirituality, and money like you truly desire and you have the capacity to create as a human being. You might even set conscious goals, or maybe you want to make more money, or maybe you want to find a partner. But your internal automatic guidance system is never going to allow you to reach such goals while your identity itself is not in alignment with the truly beautiful creation that you've been constructed by God to be. See, the brain and the nervous system are functioning automatically on what's sometimes called a servo mechanism in well thought out self-help trainings that actually create transformation in a powerful way. So what is that? What's a servo mechanism? Well, sometimes shortened to servo in books that I've read, it's an automatic device that uses error sensing negative feedback systems to correct the performance of a mechanism, and it's defined by its function, automatically changing your perception of time, space, matter, and energy through automatic pre-built presets that function inside your unconscious mind. Essentially, the brain acts like a reality constructing servo mechanism, constantly moving you towards your defined target, continuously correcting course after receiving feedback from the universe. And this entire holographic reality bending process happens unconsciously in the background as you're going about your day, wondering about things, thinking, doing focused work, or even maybe enjoying yourself immensely as you're getting commissions online and your bank balance is growing on autopilot by applying these daily shortcuts in your life right now. A real-life example of this reality distortion field principle, which is a creative principle that everybody has access to, but a real example of this for adults in the United States is driving your car on the highway as the dotted or the solid lines go by and your mind wanders itself to the exact right destination somehow. If you've been driving for longer than maybe a couple of months, driving to completely unconscious, automated sequence of behaviors from triggered external responses. You're not even thinking about it. You actually get where you want to go automatically while you're thinking about other things, maybe enjoying music, maybe you're singing, I hope you sing good, but maybe you sing bad as you're driving, or maybe you're even talking to a friend. Your success on the highway is actually happening on autopilot without even making conscious choices about the actions that you're automatically taking based on previous reality constructs and decisions that you've made through habitual pattern responses. You don't even have to think about steering. You don't have to think about accelerating or braking. It all happens automatically as your nervous system is stimulated from external sensory data, like what you're seeing and hearing, as it's filtered through your servo mechanism inside your unconscious mind. Like, for example, if you've ever been driving and all of a sudden you look up and you're 5 miles past your target destination and you weren't even aware of it, or maybe you arrive at your destination on time and you don't even remember how you got there because your mind was wandering off in new dreams and destinations and daydreaming, which you're like, how did I get here? How am I safe? And suddenly you find that you're there. What if success worked like that? See, if you've ever experienced that, I want you to now realize that you've actually experienced the same automatic success creation system that can make you rich, it can make you happy, it can also make you free. You unconsciously are staying on the road and automatically correcting your course away from the curb, away from traffic as you drive, so your mind can be a million miles away, but you keep driving without even being aware that you're doing it. It's all just happening for you the right way as you breathe, relax, and experience the beautiful mountains. Or perhaps you're on a road trip to the city of your dreams. And where is that exactly? Would you like to get there? This internal automatic servo mechanism can either function as a success mechanism or as a failure mechanism in your life, depending on its input and what you desire to create. If you want better results in your life, you need to make your success creation system work for you on autopilot, and that way you can start doing things now and filling its holographic 5-sensory vision creation system with information like what's in the daily shortcut, including the free audio and PDF workbook that you're downloading now as you're experiencing this transformational information. However, with most people, there can actually be an issue stopping them that makes it so you're not automatically creating the prosperous life that you truly desire, even though you have this mechanism, because there's actually a filtration system that determines what kind of input from your environment you can receive and utilize as you're taking action unconsciously in your daily life, filling out your habitual unconscious patterns. And what's this filtration system and how does it work? Well, it's sometimes summarized as the self-image, your identity. And it's easy to understand when you compare your brain or your nervous system to a computer and just kind of spice it up a little bit with consciousness. Just imagine a computer with consciousness and quantum mechanical computing ability that has a simultaneous possibility engine, if you know what that means. Now, no matter what you put into a computer, it's going to fail to function correctly if it has errors in the software. It's the same with your unconscious servo mechanism and how it puts you in the right place at the right time or not, whether you're paying attention or not. This all happens automatically based on your programming. Your servo mechanism actually operates in accordance with your identity systems, with your beliefs and values, and it reflects off this sensory data that you're actually internalizing from your external environment. If you decide to program it with images of transformation or information that you do or you don't want, what happens is your internal guidance system will operate as a mechanism that will get you there, constantly getting you what you do or you don't want to get, depending on what you're imagining. If you program it with images of success and prosperity, with fame and great relationships, it's going to operate as a success and prosperity creation mechanism as well, and get you exactly what you want. And it all starts with empowering your self-image. This is an image of our core self, and it's the core factor too that determines the data that our internal guidance servo mechanism gets and what it can accept and use to function to creating your dream outcomes in your life. The self-image starts being formed from our genetics, our external environment, like our parents and our school and the mentors that we have, and the way we begin to process information, the way that we make decisions as a child, and the way that we begin to paint a path for our future as we imagine things as youth and as we listen to the belief systems of others. As soon as we're aware of these opinions, we start to accept them as a fact, even if they're not true. We believe them, even though many times the beliefs, the things that we think as they're no more or less real than the exact opposite belief or value, right? So my question for you is this: why not believe what produces what you want to produce automatically in your life? This can cause some serious limitations if we don't have accurate beliefs in the way our internal guidance system will function and create things in our life. Most people, they'll just accept these opinions as a fact, even though they're not true, and they'll act in accordance with them their entire life. For example, someone who's told that they're not the sharpest tool in the box, if you've heard that, or maybe they're not too bright, maybe they'll just unconsciously agree even though it's not true. And they'll act in accordance with that belief even though it's obviously not true and it's not based on real data. In other words, it's not a verified, true piece of information that they're not too bright. There's actually a study done, and this is just a story that I'm gonna tell you right now, where they took a group of kids and their teacher came in and told the group of kids that they're in a special class because they have a learning disability, and started training them. And because of that, all of the kids together, even though they had no learning disability, probably not the most ethical study, they all started to perform less. They took another group of kids with a learning disability and they just told them that they're in a special group of kids because their intelligence is extra high, and that group of kids started to perform better than the normal group of kids. And so what we hear actually does matter and can form beliefs and change reality. Perhaps even if your whole life somebody has avoided anything that involves what they consider a high level of intelligence because they've heard something like that, they believe that they couldn't possibly do such mentally demanding things, they can do it. That's just based on values and beliefs that have no reflection in reality at all. You can do amazing things. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You're powerful. You're capable. And I believe that God made you that way. And whether you believe that or not, you can do amazing things as a human being, and I've seen that reflected in experience again and again in working with all kinds of people. See, if you're not where you want to be right now, and you're also not getting there as quickly as you want to get there, it's most likely because you have a few bugs in your self-image and your internal programming software systems. The good news is, just like software, the change can happen actually very quickly, even instantly, inside the human nervous system. As you're watching this and as you're downloading the daily shortcuts, it may have already happened today as you are watching this and bending your mind around this new and powerful information, because you do have the power to change. See, there are two principles that you need to understand before you can reprogram your unconscious mind and upgrade its internal quantum mechanical servo mechanism. The two principles of the subconscious mind that you can utilize now are, number one, the subconscious mind always is going to operate automatically whether the conscious mind tells it to be that exact way or not. Yet the conscious mind does have the power to direct the unconscious mind through certain principles that can create conscious-unconscious alignment. Principle number two, The unconscious mind always moves in the direction in which the internal values and belief systems point it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether you're awake, sleeping, paying attention, or not. Every time you consciously absorb a thought, create something in your mind, your unconscious mind is the mechanism which your resources are aimed at using the information that are actually formed in that thought. And if they're not in alignment, your resources are not going to be aimed in the right way. Whatever thoughts you absorb, your unconscious mind is going to direct those thoughts, whether that direction is chosen, whether it's guided consciously, or whether it's formed properly with the right information, or whether it's just chaotic belief systems that other people put on you. So whether it's the thoughts that you hear from other people, or whether it's something you say to yourself, all of this is going to form into a flow of consciousness that's creating your future in a certain way that you can change to a future of peace, a future of prosperity, and a future of abundance if that's what you choose to do. Your unconscious mind, it can't take a joke. It can't tell the difference between a fact or something that's not a fact. It agrees with the data it receives and with the beliefs it's pointed towards, and it guides all of your resources automatically in accordance with those beliefs. And when you accept nonsense and you just believe it and you say, oh, I guess I'm not really smart, especially when it comes to your identity, your abilities, what you can do, your internal guidance system functions as a not success mechanism. And it actually steers you away from the beautiful possibilities you do have the power to achieve as a human being. And I believe you have the power to step into those. I want you to understand that if you release these negative thoughts, beliefs, images, and emotions about yourself and what you believe is possible, that not only can you achieve those things, but this is relatively simple, and it'll begin happening automatically just by experiencing and watching every episode of The Daily Shortcut, filling your unconscious mind with new, beautiful, and also powerful things. Well, this process is going to be simple for you. It takes consistent and conscious effort and focused attention and a decision to walk in a better and a more abundant way. Your change, though, can happen in an instant. The moment you make a decision, you can actually change everything in your mind. Because the formula for change is actually easy. Just release the old negative system and replace that old system with a new, positive success creation system that's built to your specifications, to your desires, to the life that you actually want to create. See, the interesting thing about the conscious mind is that once it makes a decision and it chooses something with certainty, it eliminates all other options and it begins the automatic creation process that very moment along with the decision. Once you decide something like, I'm not attractive, I'm not powerful, I'm not rich, see, you're going to rule out the possibility of creating an attractive, powerful, rich, abundant future like you desire to create. It's just a decision inside. But once you decide, I'm not rich, and you rule out the possibility of making lots of money and being rich in this moment, you can also flip that around and you can decide, I am rich. And once you decide I'm not intelligent and wise, you rule out the possibility of maybe getting the promotion that you want, or perhaps doing anything that you perceive requires a high level of intelligence and wisdom. However, the opposite is also true. So here is how you can cancel negative systems and you can upgrade your internal servo mechanism on a daily basis. To upgrade your internal guidance system, it takes repeated, intentional selection and focused attention. Every time you have a choice that comes up from the inside, you want to direct your conscious resources and your internal holographic imagery systems in a pre-decided way to get you to a certain destination. So when you hear yourself thinking about what you don't want in thoughts you're playing, simply recognize it consciously, release it using exercise that we've taught you here in the Daily Shortcut and walk you through in a second, and choose the direction that you want to go instead, guiding your mind to a new and more abundant future. And if you do this is the exciting part, you can create a new program for your servo mechanism and force your unconscious over a period of time to move yourself towards the images of success, power, happiness, peace, and the relationships you desire. So here's the process. Step number 1, important. You got to release the old and negative systems. Every time a negative thought comes up, you can simply say cancel, delete, not true, out loud. Cancel, I like, is better. You can also walk through simple emotional release processes we teach you, my brother teaches in these episodes and also in our courses, as you continue paying attention, as you continue listening and going through the workbooks that come along with each of these episodes. This is going to make you consciously aware of the thought pattern and the belief system that's in the background, and it's going to consciously challenge them for their lack of accuracy and truth, and just doing that can change things. The easiest way to quickly change a belief is to constantly challenge its validity based on facts when it comes up. You can think cancel, and then you could ask what's actually true, but it's actually far more effective when you state something out loud instead of just saying it in your mind, and consciously direct your mind in a new way with your words. Your ears will hear your voice, and it completes what's called a language loop, and it activates something called a deep structure of language that is built into the human brain and guides our unconscious intentions. Step number 2, replace it with a new, positive, powerful, abundance creating system. Immediately after calling out your negative system and challenging it, replace it with a new system that directs you exactly where you want to go. This is generally the opposite of the negative system and more close to your true self. And doing it this way creates a new program you can activate for your unconscious servo mechanism that actually guides you towards the success of your dreams. So for example, if you're in sales or marketing and your negative system says something like, I'm not awesome with people, you can replace it with something like this: I'm great at selling, and I work well with people. They love to buy from me even automatically when I'm in sales videos, without even consciously thinking about it. Like I have a maverick commission getting power with my clients while I'm walking them to the destination they desire and serving their needs in the best way, and I'm receiving money at the same time. Isn't that a better belief? See, immediately after canceling the old negative system, you want to direct your mind to creating the system that you have the desire inside your unconscious mind, inside your heart to create. Step number 3, you want to affirm the new self-image daily and continue to build it into something more powerful. You want to realize why you want to change. What's your end goal? Affirm the new image of yourself multiple times daily and challenge every belief and value and every stimulus that you encounter that conflicts with your new chosen direction that you construct to your dream specifications. This brings us to step number 4, which is to enter the theater of your imagination. I find it interesting when people maybe laugh at visualization or unconscious creation strategies like what's taught in The Secret, because the reality is that the subconscious mind can't tell the difference between something that's real and something that's actually vividly imagined in holographic 5-sensory experiential detail. And every day, if you just sit down, you relax, and you visualize the new image of yourself for 5 or 10 minutes, you can force your imagination to focus on what you want in a predetermined way and be consistent. And the best athletes in the world, actors, and all the successful people I know all do this on a daily basis. In other words, all the successful people in the world use these strategies whether you do or not. 10 minutes of active, focused imagination daily and continuous absorption in every daily shortcut episode can change the nature of your destiny over time and create a new future for yourself and your family that you want to create and step into. So I want you to visualize today, every day, as vividly as possible, using your emotions, using your senses, hear the things that's happening, right? Picture yourself how you want to be as if it's happening this moment, and you're beautifully experiencing, doing the things that you want to be doing and having the things that you actually want to have in your life. And while you're doing that, feel the feelings you'll have when you experience these things in the flesh and actually step into them. If you do that every day, it'll happen. And the reality is that all it takes to bring about serious change in your life is simple daily actions like I've described. As you're doing these things, you can start acting as if the change has actually already occurred, feeling the feelings that you'll feel when it's occurred, and it will occur exactly how you imagined it. I've experienced that again and again, and so have the people around me that I've taught these strategies to. And it's going to happen for you if you're consistent. So as part of the process, it's important that you rid your mind of negative systems and input that creates negativity in them, such as media and bombardment, gossip from other people, reading gossip in newspapers, and just negative crap, stuff that doesn't lift your mind to new, better visions of the future. In other words, just eliminate it. cut it out of your diet of crappy, negative input programs that you take in on a daily basis and replace them with something new. There's lots of great news that happens and positive things that happen in the world, and there's information that you could listen to that'll change your life every day. So you want to stop listening to your negative relatives. Turn off the TV. Upgrade your social circle and start reading and listening to personal growth books of people that have what you want, and go through every new episode of the Daily Shortcut on a daily basis. Force yourself into a habit. And as you do this, you're going to reprogram your unconscious servo mechanism, and it's going to start to function as a success mechanism for you instead. You're going to begin to talk differently. You're going to walk differently. You'll even spread your butter differently in a special way that creates the perfect sandwich of success in your life, if you could imagine that. Your unconscious actions, which are about 98% of your total daily decisions, at least 80% as we mentioned before, will actually start to serve you, and it's going to move you towards success, your desired goal, and the lifestyle of your dreams. The subconscious is great at what it does, and this is the truth. Even if it does the things that you don't want it to do, it's doing a great job, and that means that you have power. Like if you're not moving your life towards a life of lots of money because of an idea about yourself or about money that needs to be released and replaced with something that's better. When these programs appear in the form of a negative thought, simply cancel the system and replace it using the process explained above. It's easy to understand when you think of your subconscious mind as your goal-seeking mechanism. Once you upgrade its software, you get clear on its destination, you cancel the buggy programming as you're replacing it with new upgraded software. What this system is actually going to do for you, it's going to move you towards your success-based outcome every time, like clockwork, just like you're actually doing automatically right now. So will you follow the 4 steps above that I've given you? Let me know in the comments, and I want to know specifically what your biggest learning was today, your aha moment. The best comment daily wins our comment contest, so be detailed and thoughtful in your comment and really tell us about the internal transformation that you've had today and how it's actually going to change your life, your future, and your financial destiny. I actually want to help you. I want to help you create a better business. I want to help you improve your life while you're developing yourself and while you're applying these principles. And so I've prepared 3 powerful bonus shortcuts to help you attract wealth faster while reinforcing these daily concepts you learned in today's episode and replacing your unconscious systems with actually new systems, faster systems, and more powerful ones that create the results that you want. In your first daily shortcut, you're going to get a free PDF workbook that you can print and you can go through that will help you on a journey of reprogramming your unconscious mind to steer away from negative internal systems and instead to reward you with automatic unconscious success. You're also going to get a transcription of today's episode, so you can read it and you can internalize these ideas as your mind is improving automatically on autopilot. And in your second daily shortcut, you're going to get a free audio download of today's episode, so you can listen to it again and again and absorb these ideas into your unconscious servo mechanism. And you can begin creating success automatically by applying these secrets. You'll grow more conscious of your negative behaviors and improve them, almost like magical powers in your life. And in your third and your most important daily shortcut, I'm going to give you my entire business if you want it, the Total Shortcut System, which you can get today when you just put in your name and email. And you can begin growing with us as a community, experiencing a life of total transformation in a faster and a more powerful way. And as you're watching these daily episodes, which are done by myself and also others, you can earn money and you could create simultaneous lifestyle if you want to take action now, and also as you're downloading your free bonuses today. Simply fill in your name and your best email, then click the button that says, "Give me the Total Shortcut," and you'll be immediately taken to a download of your 3 powerful bonuses, and by applying this information in your life, it will transform you. I will see you in the next episode of the Daily Shortcut as we transform the world, and I want you to remember that you are powerful, unique, wonderful, beautiful. You have the ability to do great things, create new worlds, and my friend, I will see you in the next episode, and remember, we have a better way.